You know, the land is going to be next. And we may go to the Senate, we may go to the, Congress and tell them about it. What are they going to do? Say, gee, we don't want to stop drugs pouring in?
The Pentagon now planning to send the Navy's most advanced aircraft carrier, the Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group, from the Mediterranean Sea to the Caribbean in an escalation of the administration's campaign to target drug smugglers. For reaction, Fox News senior strategic analyst, retired General Jack Keane, joining me now. Thank you, sir, for being with us this morning. I want to get right to it. The White House says they've got the legal authority for these strikes on these drug boats. But now they're talking about cartel strikes on land as well. There's this aircraft carrier strike group headed to the Caribbean. The CIA was also authorized to conduct ground operations inside Venezuela. What do you say to people who believe this looks more like regime change?
Well, I think regime change certainly is implied here. There's pressure being put on the Maduro regime because he and the cartels have become one. Contrast that with the government of Mexico, where most of the fentanyl comes out of, and that government is cooperating with the United States, providing us intelligence. We're providing intelligence to them. She's given up 55 capo leaders to the United States, but Maduro is not. I mean, he's down there promoting the export of these drugs because it's his revenue source. So this is different, and certainly what the administration is doing, obviously military pressure to stop the flow of it at sea and having some huge success in doing that. But I think the real thing that's happening is to undermine the Maduro regime, to put pressure on that regime. A demonstration of military force is part of that. And they really want the people that are supporting the regime come to the conclusion, is this really worth it? To support Maduro in this kind of activity and this kind of behavior. So, yes, we're not talking about a physical military operation to change the regime. I don't believe that's in the cards. But certainly pressuring the regime is definitely taking place here. The aircraft carrier that's being brought, as you mentioned in the introduction, I mean, we all understand what that does. Its primary mission is airstrikes. It has cruise missiles along with it because they bring all the destroyers, and I think they're bringing most of them. There's already destroyers in place. They have Tomahawk missiles, cruise missiles as well. But the primary reason is airstrikes. And listen, there's no more symbol of United States military superiority. The number one symbol in the world of that is an aircraft carrier. So that is part of it.
Okay.
It's demonstration also, but likely they probably have some plans in terms of taking down some drug labs and some other centers that are actually responsible for producing all of these drugs that are being exported to the United States.
Okay. I want to get you on another issue. Even with trade in focus this week, the president is keeping his sights on peace deals. He said he hopes to get China's help with Russia on Ukraine. But in the last few days, he seems to have retreated from the idea of giving Ukraine access to Tomahawk missiles. Listen here.
There is a tremendous learning curve with the Tomahawk. It takes a year of intense training to learn how to use it. And we know how to use it, and we're not going to be teaching other people. It's too far out into the future.
So the NATO Secretary General backed up the president here, saying no single weapon system is going to change the course of the war. But Russia was showing anxiety about Ukraine getting their hands on them. And as for the training, I want to ask you, doesn't the U.S. already provide a number of systems that have required training? I think, F-16s, M1 Abrams tanks, Bradley fighting vehicles, HIMARS come to mind. What's the difference now? And would it really take a year to train Ukraine on Tomahawks?
Well, I think to send somebody through a school in America to qualify them on that, a soldier that has been through basic training, it probably takes 6 months to a year. That's true whether you're training on a tank, Patriot batteries, or et cetera. But we have very condensed programs for the Ukrainians. They don't go at it during a school week. They go at it 7 days a week, 14 or 15 hours a day, Jackie. And these programs, even when we come up with a condensed program, probably something like the Tomahawk would be 6 weeks. And they would likely go faster than the condensed program. They have exceeded our expectations in everything we've given them. The M1 tank, HIMARS, ATACMS, Patriot missiles. And why? War focuses the mind. They go after this with a vengeance. And that's really understandable. There never has been a weapon system that we want to give them where training on the weapon system has been an impediment to deploying the weapon system. There may be some other reasons, but I'm not aware that this should be the reason. The president obviously has some information that I think is not being realistic in terms of what we have done in the past with the Ukrainians and likely what we would do with this system as well. Listen, so what's the issue here? The issue is that Russia has a sanctuary outside the range of all the current weapon systems that the United States and Europeans and what the Ukrainians have themselves. Other than the drones, they can't reach them. The number one target is the Al Beluga Manufacturing Center for Shahed drones, the drones that swarm 500 to 800 at a time a night, largely into Ukraine's major cities. That is a major problem. It was manufactured, that center, by the Iranians. 20,000 North Koreans worked there, and that is target one. The other targets are the bombers bases that deliver the cruise missiles and ballistic missiles into Ukrainian population centers, target civilians. And they are protected from this sanctuary. So that's the reason why the Ukraine wants the weapons. Many of the reasons why observers like me think we should give them these weapons for that reason. It makes no sense not to give the Ukrainians the ability to protect their population when Putin has made the major escalation in the war is against the civilian population.
Right. We'll have to leave it there. We're out of time, General, but good to keep in mind as Russia continues to show some anxiety about this particular weapon system. Glad to have your thoughts on here. Thank you very much, General Jack Keane.
Yeah, great talking to you, Jackie. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.